Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So I have been enjoying the car immensely. I just put the E88s on, you guys saw in the last video. I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody for the insane amount of love and support on the new setup. I'm personally my own worst critic, so I'm always trying to one-up myself. But when you guys can celebrate the wins with me and you guys are loving the new setup just as much as I am, it just makes it that much better. So I just want to give a huge shout out to all you guys and say thank you. I really do appreciate all the love and support. It continues to motivate me. It keeps on making me push to keep on doing this as much as I love it. It's always so nice to hear the feedback from you guys. And I am absolutely loving this setup. The car looks insane with these E88s on here. I'm just in love with this car. I never fell out of love with it, but you know, as time progresses, when you're on, you know, similar set of wheels or the car looks kind of normal to you after a certain amount of time, when you throw new wheels on it, it just totally changes the entire perspective, all the details. And I'm super happy I finally went with a silver set of wheels after all this time of running darker colored wheels. So thank you guys once again. I really do appreciate it. So what I want to do in this video is go over a few different things coming in for the M3, as well as a few things that I'm thinking about. Kind of want to make this a little bit of a discussion video, kind of get your feedback, let you guys know what I'm thinking, and hopefully get some experience from people that have tried this specific modification and see if it's the right route to go. This is one thing that I like doing. I like talking it over, talking with you guys, getting some real life feedback as opposed to just trying it and then finding out the hard way. So we're all community here, so it's always so nice to get that feedback. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So a couple things on the way currently for the F80 is I actually have a few interior mods. So you guys have seen me do quite a few things on the interior of this car. Love it. Exactly my style, right where I was going for, that motorsport feel. And you know, I'm continuing to try and make it the best possible F80 for myself and my dream. And in order to do that, it's all about the details, something that I always stress. And one thing that I actually came across are carbon M1, M2, as well as the start stop button. Now I have the polar blue ones from IND. I installed that, or installed those when I did the OEM M2 CS Alcantara steering wheel, which I love. But I never really was a big fan of the blue. It looks nice, but at the same time, I always thought if I can get some carbon ones, that would be really cool, but not many people make them. So I actually came across a company called Carbon Culture. They do a bunch of custom carbon work, and one of the things they actually do is M1, M2, start-stop buttons as well. They still illuminate just like stock, and I decided to pick those up. So those are gonna come in. Also, I mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned on YouTube here, but on my Instagram, I was asking if anybody had these painted in gloss black. So you can see the silver there and the silver there. I just kind of wanted to kind of clean it up a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the silver, so I was wondering if anybody had those in black. Couldn't find anybody to paint them the way that I wanted, but after some research, I found out that the BMW i8 actually has these buttons in black. So I picked up a whole entire module, both switches, both sides, from a BMW i8. A little too expensive, honestly, just for some buttons. But I got the whole entire, all the buttons and everything, the steering wheel controls, just so I can dissect these buttons out. So we're gonna be replacing those with black. It's gonna clean it up nice. I'm gonna have the M1, M2 in carbon, as well as the carbon start stop button, which should be a really nice touch. Also, another thing coming in from Carbon Culture is the little badge up here. Now, most people would just leave that alone, but since this is a competition and I'm not a big fan of chrome, you know, as I say that with silver wheels now, I always wanted to get this badge in black. I just wanted to leave the M colors, but I wanted the M3 in black. And sure enough, Carbon Culture, they offer that as well. So I have that coming in. It still has the really nice M colors there, but the M3 part is in black. So it's actually going to match the rear badge on the back of the competitions. I always thought it was so funny that they have a black badge back here, but the up front was silver. So I got the matching gloss black badge to fit up there. I think it's gonna look nice, but now it's funny. Now that I have the E88s, it kind of matches really well. But either way, I have that coming in, so most likely I'm gonna swap that over, and I think it's gonna add a nice touch. So another thing that I talked about in my E88 video when I installed these is wanting to do a stud conversion kit. I am currently running just the stock lug bolts, which is standard on all M cars, pretty much all BMWs these days. Actually, in the past as well, that's just kind of what they did. I really don't mind the lug bolts, but now with the more expensive wheels and everything, I just don't want to risk damaging the wheels, especially taking these things on and off. And with the deep race pockets, I'd much rather have studs on here. So I ended up picking up the Mach Chanel stud kit, the 75mm. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you are going to say do the titanium, but going from these to the TE37s, which are in black, I don't want to have silver or titanium studs on here. It would just clash too much with the black. So I just went for the simple black Mach Chanel ones. I like the Mach Chanel ones. Main reason is because the way that you install them. I don't like the bullet nose ones because I don't like doing the nut lock method in order to get them on. I just like the little hex screw, the hex socket at the front of it to be able to torque them down properly. So I got those coming in, and I also got some really nice lug nuts. So I'm a really big fan of Project Kicks. I ran a bunch of different Project Kick lug nuts on previous cars, so I thought it was only right to do them on this car. Now it's kind of the JDM and me kind of mixing both worlds, so I got some really nice Project Kicks R40s coming in black, which should look really, really nice with these wheels. Also, the Mach Chanel stud kit, it does come with the standard black lugs as well, so I could use those, but I think the Project Kicks ones are going to look really nice. Plus, on the Project Kick ones, the seat of the lug nut actually stays in place and the actual lug spins, so it's not going to do any damage to these wheels. So I thought doing some really nice lugs would make these wheels look even better. So got that stuff coming in, should be really nice. Obviously, I'll be doing videos on all that. A couple other things as well, a couple interior things from MF Interior that I'm waiting on that should look really, really nice. But let's get into the topic of this video and start discussing camber plates. All right, so as you guys may know, I am running KW V3 coilovers. Absolutely love them. Been so happy with them. I ran KW V2s on my E46 M3, and I am just as happy running the V3s on the F80. Super, super smooth ride. They stiffen up when they want them. So much adjustability. Fantastic. But the only drawback going with KW V3s is that you use your stock top hat. Yes, it is nice to keep things nice and quiet, to keep things simple, but when you have aggressive setups like these, or if you track the car, you're going to run into some issues without being able to adjust camber. Now, currently, I'm pretty happy with the setup. I'm running around negative 1.8 up front. Obviously, I'm limited to the amount that I can adjust it because of the stock top hats. The stock top hats do not allow camber adjustment. It's kind of fixed when you lower it, especially this low. So being able to adjust the camber is really important to me. Now, I am very happy with how it sits currently. I think the wheels fitted look really, really nice, but I still want to be able to have that adjustment. So I started looking at a few options and wanted to discuss them with you. So my main goal in adding camber plates is I just want the camber adjustment, but I don't want to add any clunking, noises, NVH. I just want to keep it nice and simple. I love how quiet and simple it is currently, but I just want that adjustment. Now, I actually had a set of Vorschlag camber plates for my E46 M3 that I never installed. I was going to put them on my V2s, the KW V2s, but I never got around to it, so I never got a chance to experience them. So there's three main options that people go with on these cars. One is ground control. Ground control is really popular. Back in my E46 days, I remember them. The thing about them is the camber plates are a little too complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. Yes, it's great for the track, but for a street car like mine, I think it may be a little bit too much. And especially, I don't want to add all that extra clunking and noises and everything, so that would drive me nuts. So I took those off the list. Another set that I was looking at was the Vorschlag, which again, I had those for my E46 M3, but I never got to experience them. So I was kind of back and forth on them. I think they look nice. They have some nice adjustability. I love that the perch on the bottom actually rotates with the spring to eliminate any noises and everything. So I was looking at those, but the one that kept on popping up are the Milway Street camber plates. That seems to be the consensus. That seems to be the most popular. And they really, really caught my interest. The main reason is because they have both a race and a street version. Actual pill ball mounts that attach to the actual strut of your coilover is kind of what makes the difference. So the street version is a little bit simpler, a little bit softer. It still allows insane amounts of adjustments, but you won't have to deal with all the clunking and noises. So on my Instagram, I actually reached out to a few of you or put up a story asking if anybody has any real life experience. And the consensus is they're fantastic, no noise, they've been great. But I also heard they're super noisy and I had issues with them. So I'm not sure what to believe. I'm not sure if that's just install error or they just had a bad set or what have you, but it seems like the conclusion that most people are happy with them. So that is kind of where I'm leaning. There may be some people on this video that can comment below that haven't on my Instagram and give me some other feedback and everything, because I want to make sure I do it right. Suspension on these cars, or any car for that matter, is really important, and I don't want to downgrade or make it worse. I just want to make it better, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right. So there are a few other camber plate options as well. I saw JRZ, which seems pretty simple, but I haven't really gotten much feedback on them. But overall, it seems like the millways are the best route to go, at least what I'm looking for. So let me know if you guys experienced them, or you know of friends or people that have experience with them. And you know, I want the feedback. I want to hear from you guys and see if that's the right way to go. Because again, I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I don't want to just throw something on there and then regret it and have to spend all this money and sell and this and that. Something that I love doing is the research to make sure that whatever I put on is something that's going to stay on for the eternity of the car, as long as I have it at least, because I don't want to revisit that modification later down the road. All right, guys, so there you have it. Just a little bit of an update and a little bit of a discussion for you guys. Again, feedback, research is always important, and I always like to make sure that I do my due diligence with anything that I do. I don't just buy stuff just to buy it. Anything that I put on this car is for a reason, and I've done extensive research for. You know, I'm my own worst enemy, so I want to make sure that I do it right. You know, cost aside, it doesn't really matter to me, because I want to make sure that when I install something, it's going to be on there for eternity. It's going to be something that I install, I enjoy it, I never have to think about it again. In the past, I've made mistakes where I've tried something and it just didn't live up to the hype, and I ended up taking it off, trying to sell that, lost money on that, and then ended up doing what I originally wanted. So it ended up costing me more money in the long run. So doing your due diligence and making sure you're getting the right part that's, you know, right for you is really important. So that is going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm going to go out and enjoy this car some more. Loving the E88s, loving the new stance, loving the new look. But I hope everybody has an amazing holiday and happy Thanksgiving. I will see you guys next week. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.